maybe. Some people want to read this rather than. So the degree of this is equal to 1. Degree of this is also equal to 1. If those two degrees are the same, then the limit is equal to ratio of the coefficients of the leading term. I'm assuming you understand what leading term means, right? A polynomial written with the highest power starting out with the highest power. Okay. So what's the leading coefficient for the numerator? 1 coefficient. And denominator? 2. All right, you guys got that? All right, and you can even see it graphically on your graphing calculator. All right. Next is the limit. Yes. You want to take a look at the definitions of limits at infinity on page 811. All right, I mean, that's pretty simple notation. Couple of other things on the slide here. Remember yesterday or day before we talked about something like this, limit as x goes to 1 plus, right? Or limit as x goes to 1 minus. You know the difference between these two, right? What does 1 plus mean? It's going from the right, not to the right, but from the right of 1. Right? A little bit more than 1. This one is a little bit less than 1. So it's not going to the right, but it's going from the right of 1 towards 1. And this guy at the bottom is going from the left of 1 towards 1. Okay? Well, since we don't know what infinity is, we can't be on the other side of infinity, can we? Because we don't know where it is. So concepts like infinity to the plus doesn't make any sense at all. Because I don't know where infinity is. So I can't go from a little bit more than infinity. You guys got that? Okay? So the left and right limits are not written like this. Okay? Instead, they're written like x goes to plus infinity. That'd be the right limit, and x goes to minus infinity. That would be the left limit. You guys with me? No? Okay, let's write things down then. Okay. So what I'm trying to do is make a distinction between something like this and something like this. This is the left limit. This is the right limit. Unlike these other things that I have, okay? Unlike this. Okay? In other words, the difference is here the plus is a superscript up at the top. You don't have that for infinity. All right? Okay? So if you were to look at the red thing, what I'm talking about is if you had a graph like what we have in here, this guy, then the limit as x goes to infinity is this number that we are talking about, this y value. You guys with me on that? And if the graph was doing something like this on the other side, something like that, then x to the minus infinity would be wherever this number was going, wherever that number goes. You with me? Okay, so this is minus infinity because that's where I'm headed. Okay, and this is plus infinity because that's where I'm headed. All right? That's not the limit. That's what's happening to x. The limit is always the y value, always the function value. Okay, not the x value, the y value. Okay, is everybody there? How about these two? Does everybody see this is pretty straightforward? Does everybody agree with that? Mark, you want to explain why it seems that obvious that, yeah, you won't accept it? Sorry? Yeah, but why is it equal to 0? Does that kind of make sense to you? Leah, does that make sense to you? Sharik? Exactly. Exactly. What he's saying is that if this number here, x, is going towards infinity, remember infinity is a huge ass number. Huge number, okay? And when you've got a big number here, okay, what do you think the result's going to be? Close to 0. Close to 0. Okay, and that's true for whether it's going to plus infinity or minus infinity. You guys know that there's nothing like this, right? There's no positive 0 and negative 0. It's 0. Okay? There is no sign attached to it. Why is that funny? Okay. All right? So you got to know this, okay? Limit of 1 over x is 0 as x goes to infinity. Okay. Evaluating limits at infinity. Couple examples. A few examples coming up, okay? Mark, how rude. As rude as Myra. You are playing with the machine just a little while ago, and he's playing with the machine. I mean, come on. Okay, can I start explaining? Does everybody know how I went from there to there? Beta? Well, actually, I'm using some